Hello all, I welcome you all to my channel. This is where I will be giving you all the tips, the strategies, all the questions and all the core concepts that you need to learn to crack the exam of NEET. So myself Anirudh, I have completed this exam, I have given this exam 4 years ago and I have passed it, and I am presently a third year medical student. Now, in this section of questions I like, I have selected certain questions presently in the biology section, especially in the human physiology section, because NEET is asking very conceptual questions these days. So in this section, in this presentation, I have taken questions, as it is very clear from the backdrop, I have taken questions from NEET 2019 paper. Now in this paper, all the biology questions, most of them are very conceptual. This is the first question that we have. So this question has been brought from the topic of respiration, breathing and exchange of gases, the second topic in human physiology of class 11th. So here you can see that they say that tidal volume and expiratory reserve volume of an athlete is 500 ml and 1000 ml respectively. Now what will be his expiratory capacity? So this is what they are asking us to find out if his residual volume is 1200 ml. Now the topic of respiratory volumes and capacities are much important. So I will be writing here very important in the examination. So before anything else, I would like to tell you two important points that you might have seen as questions in any of the papers that you might write as practice papers. So these two things, that is, which is the instrument with which you will be measuring the volumes, that is spirometer. NCERT gives it very correctly over there, and the respiratory rate, the normal respiratory rate of a healthy human adult is 12 to 16 per minute. So please never forget these 2 points. These are very important points that you need to have at your fingertips. Now, this is how you measure the volume. You ask the patient, you ask the person to breathe normally. So he has breathed normally over here. Then he takes a forceful inspiration. That is why it goes up. And then he expires normally, and then again he continues expiring to whatever is possible by him. And then again he continues the normal respiration. So I hope this graph is clear to you now. Now we will be defining all the respiratory volumes and capacities over here. Now, this much part, you see, this is the normal breathing of a person. So as he inspires, the graph goes up, as he expires, the graph goes low. And this is called as the tidal volume, the volume of air breathed in and out in normal respiration. So that is tidal volume. So I'll be marking it as TV over here. Now, what is this particular aspect? See, this is about tidal volume. So the person is inspiring at a higher rate. So the total volume of air the person can inspire, the additional volume of air the person can inspire through a forceful inspiration. This is this particular part of the graph, and I will be calling it as inspiratory reserve volume. This is called as IRV. Now again, just like similarly, I can say that through a forceful expiration, the additional volume of air that this person can expire out, the additional volume of air is called as the expiratory reserve volume. Now what is this part? There is no graph over here because this is out of the reach of the person. So even though he expires forcefully well, some amount of air will be remaining in his lungs. Now that cannot be taken out by the person. Now that particular volume of air which will remain in the lungs even after forceful expiration, as it is given in the NCERT, is called as the residual volume. So in the question they have said that yes, the residual volume is 1200 ml. Now, so these are the 4 important volumes you need to understand. Now we talk about the capacities. So first capacity is this much. See, tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume is called as the inspiratory capacity of a person. Total volume of air that a person can breathe in after forceful expiration. Now similarly, tidal volume plus expiratory reserve volume is called as the expiratory capacity. The total volume of air the person can breathe out after forceful inspiration. Now, after a normal inspiration, just a normal inspiration where tidal volume has been removed out from his lungs, we know that expiratory reserve volume will be present in his lungs and residual volume will be present in his lungs. So these 2 things will together form another very important capacity called as functional residual capacity, or very characteristically said as FRC. Now, if we add tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume plus expiratory reserve volume, so these three things will be forming the vital capacity. Maximum volume of air that a person can inspire after forced expiration. And finally, what is the amount of air, total amount of air which is present in his lungs at the end of a forced inspiration. So that will contain everything over here. So that is vital capacity plus residual volume, you call it as the total lung capacities. So these many things you need to remember so far as the lung capacities and lung volumes are concerned. Now, if we talk about the normal values of these volumes, once I say the volumes, you will be able to calculate the lung capacities on your own, and if NEET is asking such a question, you will be able to calculate it on the spot itself. So tidal volume, the normal volume in normal expiration and inspiration, that is 500 ml. Inspiratory reserve volume, the additional volume of air a person can take in through forced inspiration is 2500 to 3000 ml. Expiratory reserve volume is 1000 to 1100 ml, and residual volume is 1100 to 1200 ml. So these things you need to know much by heart. You cannot afford to forget this. See, this question was asked as a match the following question in NEET 2018. So in NEET 2018 question, they gave all the four things on one side and they gave the values on the other side. You were supposed to match this. As of now, they have not asked the values of respiratory capacities, but as I said, it is very easy to calculate then and there when the question is put forth. Now, if I come to this question, they are simply asking the expiratory capacity of this particular person. So as we know, how will you do this? Expiratory capacity, as you know, it is tidal volume plus expiratory reserve volume. So expiratory reserve volume is given to be 500,000 and tidal volume is 500. So you will simply add these two things. So that is how you will get it as 1500 ml. So for this question number 1, I will be marking option 4 as the correct option. So this is a very, very important topic as far as NEET is concerned. You cannot afford to forget this. Multiple times this question has been asked, and from the same topic, another important part that they have been putting questions is the final part of this, that means the respiratory diseases. So they have asked multiple questions on that also in the previous years. In 2017, they asked us a question that which of the following is an occupational respiratory disorder. You know, asbestosis, silicosis, biocinosis, etc. has been given in the textbook. Asthma is another thing, and as far as smokers are concerned, they will be suffering from a disease called as emphysema. Even that is also an important question. So yes, that is all with this particular chapter. These are the two important, much important areas so far as this chapter is concerned. If you ever feel that this chapter, you don't have much time to complete this chapter, please read these kind of things. And as far as this topic is concerned, you should not forget all these values over here. You have to keep on revising this till the day of your NEET exam, even on the day of NEET exam, as far as this is concerned. Thank you.